Hey, it's Fletch. Welcome to the audio version of my latest blog, Surviving the High Cost of E911 for the Remote Worker. You know, many businesses that have resolved their compliance issues for E911 have likely gotten just a little bit of sticker shock from the typical 911 solution providers when trying to extend those services to remote workers during COVID-19. Now, the reason for this is simple. The legacy E911 network relies on the reporting telephone number to indicate the address of the location of the call for service. That's what the ECC or the emergency call center uses to look up where you are. So quite simply, that means if you're going to report a specific dispatchable location, as required by the Ray-Bombs Act Section 506, each device must have a unique telephone number associated with it, as well as an individual 911 record. Now, it becomes pretty obvious why Ray-Bombs Act 506 was heavily supported by those in the industry that provide that information. More records means more revenue. And this tie to the legacy database is the primary contributor to why E911 compliance becomes more costly as the accuracy increases. So imagine you had to pay the phone company each and every month for every single telephone that you have in your house. The fees would quickly become a little difficult to justify. So to keep E911 affordable in a business environment, over the years, IT administrators have grouped stations into logical zones within the facility. So that grouping would still facilitate an adequate response, while at the same time reduce the number of reporting endpoints or billable entities. Now, while that logic works well for normal business operations, COVID-19 and remote workers considerably changed that situation, with employees working from homes at a much grander scale. You see, this change in the worker topology has effectively created an enormous amount of single-person branch offices, each requiring its own 911 address and potentially going to different response agencies. The virtual private networks that bridged home networks with the corporate infrastructure, making it really convenient to allow a soft phone client to reside on the employee's laptop and give them full communications capabilities as if they were sitting at their desk in the office. And as remote networking capabilities became more mature and sophisticated, even the ability to bring a physical device into your home was possible using a SIP telephone. So as the pandemic continued, this became the new way of business life, and many of these temporary conditions became permanent. Now, it was only after that decision came the afterthoughts about employee safety. Kerry's Law and the Ray-Bombs Act Section 506 are now in full force. And IT administrators are pressed to immediately solve this problem for public safety compliance, which was not previously considered. Now, for any 911 solution, the ideal gold standard is to provide location information at the individual device location. Unfortunately, with the 911 database charges, this just isn't cost effective, especially at scale. Now, one question that I'm often asked is, hey Fletch, what's the difference between E911 and Next-Gen 911? Well, the answer to that question can be pretty complex, and many comparison points exist. But for this discussion, the answer can be pretty simple. Next-Gen 911 provides an intelligent IP infrastructure that allows the origination endpoint or network to directly provide information, such as location, to the emergency call center. Wow, that's a big deal. Since this model uses what we call a shell record, which gets shared between all remote workers, because it can be updated in real time, only a single record is required. Now, what does that do? Well, it effectively eliminates the network complexities and, most importantly, the costly routing and 911 database entries required for legacy 911 and provide device-level reporting at a significantly reduced OPEX. Now, this not only allows device-level location to be reported in real time to the ECC or PSAP. The IP connectivity and the multimedia capable databases that are provided by our connections to bandwidth and Rapid SOS provide routing to every ECC in the U.S. and the ability to send multimedia to over 93% of those centers today. As next-gen 911 networks continue to deploy and carrier infrastructure advances with new capabilities and modalities, finally we can take advantage of 21st century technologies that already flourish in the commercial space but have yet to be deployed for public safety. Well, at 911 Inform, we're proud to partner with the very best in the industry, creating change and ubiquitous connectivity into a new era of NG 911 public safety infrastructure. Now, we'd be happy to demonstrate our exciting, award-winning new technologies to you and show you how we can save your business monthly and annual OPEX while providing full compliance with federal legislation and increasing the level of detail that you provide to public safety. Feel free to reach out to me at any time and stay safe. And thanks again for stopping by my little dusty corner of the internet. This is Fletch. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Fletch911. Check out the rest of my blogs and podcasts at Fletch.tv. And don't forget my brand new series, NG911 Future Makers, where we interview the thought leaders of our industry building the next generation of 911 leadership. Thanks again for listening. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.